Hello, my name is Terry Craig, and I've been asked to speak with you about a family of materials that is produced by a unique process. Zotefoams offers a range of high-performance, lightweight, cross-linked polyolefin block foams known as Azote that are among the purest, most consistent, and technically advanced cellular materials on the market. But first, a bit about my credentials. I've been in the foam fabrication industry for over 35 years with direct experience in automotive, aerospace, mass transit, medical, defense, electronics, and of course, product protection. My career has spanned operational and executive roles in quality assurance, manufacturing, product engineering, design, and business development. I've worked with Zotefoams materials since the early 90s, and today I want to share some of the advantage of their products from a fabricator's perspective and how these advantages can help you to grow your business. It all starts with an understanding of Zotefoams' unique process. Most cross-linked polyethylene and copolymer block foams rely on chemical blowing agents to create a cellular matrix, and those blowing agents can introduce volatile organic compounds, which become latent and residual in the foam material. Zotefoams' Azote materials do not use chemical blowing agents. Instead, use high-purity nitrogen, which is among the most common elements in the universe and is generally considered inert. In fact, it makes up approximately 78% of the air we breathe. So how does Zotefoams produce foam from nitrogen? Well, it involves a unique three-stage process. Stage 1 is extrusion and cross-linking, where polymer and additives such as colorants, fire retardants, or conductive agents are extruded into a solid, continuous plate, which is cross-linked, cooled, then cut into slabs. Stage 2 is nitrogen saturation, and this is where the science begins. Slabs are heated above melting point and infused with high-pressure nitrogen gas. Rapid depressurization at a controlled rate causes nucleation of the cellular structure within the slab, and subsequent cooling while under pressure locks in the nitrogen. Temperatures in the autoclave reach above 250 C or 480 F, and pressure can exceed 670 bar or 10,000 psi. To put that in perspective, that's the pressure of water more than 4 miles beneath the surface of the ocean. Stage 3 is expansion. By heating the slabs under moderate pressure and then reducing the pressure, the locked-in nitrogen is allowed to expand. Important to note is in this process, expansion is unconstrained and uniform in each direction. There's no physical mold or platen that can cause densification along sidewalls or from top to bottom within the block. This is a very important distinction which contributes to several performance characteristics, which I will describe in detail. How does this unique process benefit the use of the material, and specifically its fabrication? First, from its purity. Low outgassing, low VOCs, no residual blowing agent, and low fogging means you have the ability to provide protection of devices and instrumentation that contains sensitive optics, lenses, and electronic circuits without concern for fogging or staining. Coupled with very little odor makes these materials perfect for sealed bag and case products such as supplied in medical kitting, product protection, and case inserts. It also enables you to meet stringent interior emissions requirements for human occupancy applications such as in automotive, aviation, and mass transit. It is also excellent for direct skin contact in medical and sports products, meeting international standards for skin irritation, sensitivity, and cytotoxicity, and its closed cell structure prevents moisture and fluid ingress while suppressing bacterial growth. Purity also produces foams with the whitest whites, the deepest blacks, and vibrant colors, all providing unparalleled choice to suit the end-use product. Consistency. The Zotefoams process enables control of the cell size. Combined with unconstrained expansion, the cell structure is considered isotropic, meaning predictable performance no matter what direction a stress or strain force is applied from. There's no machine direction cellular orientation, no elongated cell structure, and no density stratification through the block. From top to bottom, across the full width and length, the material will process and behave the same. For applications involving comfort or protection, this means product performance will be uniform, consistent, and predictable no matter the orientation that the material is used in. Unconstrained expansion also means low built-in stress, which reduces the potential for distortion during processing and in the final product. Have you ever split a bun into sheets and then discovered that the overall dimensions change or the squareness of the sheet becomes distorted? Zotefoams materials are dimensionally stable as received. Important to throughput. It does not need to be split into sheets, then stored anywhere from 24 to 72 hours or more to allow the material to relax and normalize. And unlike chemically blown materials, Zotefoams products do not need to be pre-split to allow outgas of any residual blowing agent. Now let's talk about performance in processing. Uniformity and controlled cell size produces consistent, finished product with clean, smooth edges and with surfaces that are more resistant to marring and scuffing than most chemically blown materials. This is often important in case inserts, display packaging, medical, and sports components. You can achieve high quality, intricate, and precise geometry with unsurpassed surface appearance, be it through CNC machining, waterjet cutting, die cutting, hot wire or abrasive wire profiling, or virtually any manner of fabrication technique. Zotefoams materials are also easily thermoformed, heat laminated and bonded with throughput speeds and yield factors that are among the best in the industry. Often, lower density materials can outperform higher density competitive product while providing savings in weight and in overall component cost. We've talked about the material, now let's talk about Zotefoams, the company. They offer the widest range of block materials on the market, including low-density and high-density cross-linked polyethylenes, VAs and EVs, along with fire retardant, conductive, static dissipative versions, and specialty polymers including nylon, PVDF, and TPE. Zotefoams has the ability to tailor the dimensions of their products to achieve optimum dimensional yields on high-volume applications. This reduces material content, increases production throughput, and importantly, reduces waste. Supported by decades of technical experience and documentation geared specifically for regulated industries, including automotive, medical, defense, and transportation, Zotefoams acts as an extension of your sales and technical departments. Being onshore produced with a controlled distribution network, the logistics benefit include LTL shipments, no upfront costs associated with placement of offshore container load orders, reduced inventory, and importantly, increased turns, putting cash flow back in your wallet. To summarize, unique process produces unique materials, pure, lightweight, consistent, and visually appealing materials that process with ease and speed, and in combination with product range, technical support, and onshore logistics, enables fabricators to grow their business in virtually every major market and application. To learn more about the extensive benefits of specifying and processing Zotefoams products, please connect with us through zotefoams.com. We will be very pleased to answer any questions you may have. Thank you for your time today.
Thank you again for joining us for our J-Series water-only webinar. I'm Jeff Day, one of the application specialists here, and in front of me, Johnny Stamper, one of our other application specialists. So this is our J106, as a 6-foot by 10-foot cutting area. And as with all things Waterjet, this can be customized to suit your application, whether you need a larger cutting envelope, whether you need longer offloading, onloading tables. This machine has a 10-foot loading area, 10-foot cutting area, 10-foot offloading table. But these can be stretched or shrunk depending on your application. We can also change the material for the belt. This is a one continuous stainless steel belt. You can have 3 separate belts, and the onloading and offloading belts could be different materials depending on your application. So with that, we'll go ahead and zoom in on some of the other features on this machine and see what really sets this apart as a water-only cutting system. Down here at this end of the machine, this would typically be where you would feed your material into the system. That's one of the nice things about the J-Series is you can either use it to cut planks of material like we have loaded on here that we'll be cutting initially, or you can cut rolls of material. So typically if you're going to be using a plank, you won't need the pinch feed roller that's shown here, but when we do the roll, that pinch feed roller will come down, pinch the material, and help pull it into our cutting area. So from a safety aspect, we have this surround around the cutting area and around the machine to keep your people safe. The doors are interlocked, so if anybody tries to enter the cutting area while it's cutting, they open that door, everything's going to be put into e-stop. Another safety feature is this cover back here, where if you're running the chain backwards and material starts to go under this cover here, then this will flip up and also put the machine into e-stop. So we've really looked at the safety aspects of working around a high-speed machine. Also down at this end, we have this control box here, which has a few different features. And this box, there's 4 of these around the machine. So one of the things you can do here is adjust how far down that pinch feed roller is going to come depending on the thickness of your material. So I have a button here that I can use to raise or lower that pinch feed roller depending on the thickness that I'm using. And then you've got a switch here that actually brings the pinch feed roller down to that height. Other things you can do back here, you can load your material. So if I press load material, it'll advance the material until it hits a photo eye at the front of your cutting zone, so you're at your 0, point on your table. You can also start and stop programs from these boxes. So if you're back here doing something and something goes on with the machine, or you just want to start your program, you can start and stop programs from here. And then you can also advance your chain forward or back with here. And then there's also an e-stop button. So there are 4 of these control pedestals around the machine. Okay, so a couple other key features at this end of the system that we can take a look at. First of all, over on this side, we have this guide here for the chain, and there's a corresponding guide at the other end of the system. So this keeps the chain tracking nice and straight, and this is important because if you're doing, say, a long part that's actually longer than the cutting envelope and you want to index your chain to continue that cut, this will keep that chain so it's tracking nice and straight. Another thing is over on the other side here, we have a material guide. So whether you're loading roll of material or board material, you can just butt that up against that guide, and that'll keep that nice and square going into your cutting area. And there's a corresponding guide like this in the cutting envelope to keep everything squared up. Okay, over here on this side of the machine gives us a good view of the construction of the tank. First of all, you can see the slope bottom design to the tank. So all your cutting water is going to drain to the middle of the tank here and then flow out of this opening here. Also, you can see a bit of the stainless steel floor inside the tank, which provides for a very long-lasting system. And then also there are washdown bars inside here, so we can pump some of this water back into the tank and use that to wash any residual material out into this area here. So outside the tank, we've got our sump tank here. So this has an expanded mesh screen to catch your larger pieces of material coming out of the tank. And then down in the bottom there, your sump tray, you can either put a sump pump in there to pump your water to drain. You might want to pump through a sock filter to get any additional residue out of the water before it goes to drain. Or you can also pump to one of our paper bed filters to help get that out of your water before it goes to drain.
I want to show you guys our optional paper bed filter that is placed between the Waterjet and your drain to get the heavy sediment out of your water before it goes to drain. The wastewater from the Waterjet is pumped over top of a micron paper that collects all the heavy sediment before the water passes through. As the sediment builds up on the paper is automatically advanced out the end and into a bin for disposal. The clean water then can go to drain for an environmental friendly disposal. The drive system on this machine is a helical rack and pinion that's been armalloy coated for rust and corrosion protection. Now we're going to do some test cuts. The new aluminum crossbeam comes in at 159 pounds, which is 70% lighter than the previous steel crossbeam. Between the rack and pinion drive and the lighter crossbeam, it allows us to reach speeds of 2,500 inches per minute at up to 80 inches per second squared of acceleration. The dual cutting heads have programmable Z and Y axis, which allows us for automatic head spacing, automatic leveling, and mirror cutting. This machine is also 5-axis capable with the new Apex 60 cutting head.
Thank you for joining us today for our J-Series presentation. We hope you enjoyed it. And here's just a small sampling of what we cut with about 10 minutes worth of cutting today on this machine. So as you can see, highly productive machine. And if you're interested in learning more about how the J-Series can bring this sort of productivity to your company, please feel free to contact us and we'll send it back for questions and answers now.